What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of the MCU, talking about Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, so on and so forth, into the stratosphere. Because if this report is true, this will actually be pretty bad for Marvel and it will backfire massively. So, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here if you're new around. What the frickin' hell are you doing? Subscribe to never miss any Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, Pop Watch-based content that I try to deliver on a day basis we could. Subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know if this information we're about to go over is true. Are you for it or against it? Personally, I'm down the middle because Marvel's missed a lot recently. But Marvel's also had a lot of big hits in the past, but the past is actually the past. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, and check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into it. So, I briefly covered this in a different video, but I wanted to go over it in more detail because a lot of people seem to think Kevin Feige is the messiah, is the GOAT. But Kevin Feige let Marvel Studios release Captain America 4, really weak storyline, The Marvels. So many bad Marvel movies recently. And narratively speaking, that's the problem. It's the narrative of the story. The plots are so weak. A basic anime has a better storyline than most of Marvel movies and TV shows. They really do. Like Captain America 4 missed so bad. And most of Disney Plus shows shouldn't even exist. Rumor Kevin Feige will be more hands-on than ever with Avengers movies due to the Russo brothers' concerns. Following a recent report that Marvel Studios has concerns about the Russo brothers' helm in the next Avengers movie, we hear that Kevin Feige plans on keeping a very close eye on production. I mean, come on, lads. If you are ahead of a studio, why wouldn't you be keeping a close eye on production anyway? I know there's a lot of management now and a lot of other people will take care of things, but generally, if they've got a focused narrative and they know where they're going with Avengers 5 and 6, Kevin Feige shouldn't really need to be involved at all. Though Joe and Anthony Russo have delivered, they've always delivered when it comes to Marvel. Pretty much every movie they've done outside of Marvel was flop. But it's interesting because every movie they've done outside of Marvel has had Marvel stars in it. With Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, these projects outside the Marvel system haven't been anywhere near as successful. So this comes after the nonsense after these fake scoopers come out and say, oh yeah, Kevin Feige is really worried because the Electric State didn't do well on Netflix. Netflix is that big. It doesn't really need the movies to do well. It just keeps pumping out content. It's got a different kind of metric. As long as people keep subscribing, which they do, Netflix numbers haven't dropped. So interesting. According to a recent rumor, the Electric State reception has led to the Marvel higher-ups questioning the decision to hire the Russo bros to direct Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Well, if the actual rumors were true, only Robert Downey Jr. would come on if the Russos were going to helm it. Some dismissed the report after all. The studio will already have been well aware that the filmmakers didn't have the best non-MCU track record. Okay, so Daniel Rickman has said this. And personally, I think Daniel Rickman is the most overrated scooper there is. And a lot of people seem to say he's the oracle when it comes to scoops. But the lad misses so much. The thing with the scooper game is, everything they say is basically common knowledge. And if it's not common knowledge, it comes from a casting grid. And getting information from a casting grid, getting information from test screenings. I hate to tell you, lads, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So this comes from Daniel Rickman, right? I mean, like you guys know, I think Alex Perez is the most credible scooper. Why? Because he doesn't hide stuff behind a paywall. Okay, so allegedly he's heard this, but this could be very well made up. Kevin Feige has concerns about the Russo bros directing the next two Avengers films. However, at this stage, replacing them isn't an option. I already think this is made up because Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't return without the Russo bros. Screams made up. So he plans to closely oversee the projects, ensuring the script is just right and everything stays on track. He's going to be way more hands-on than ever before with them. Really? That's the problem with the Marvel movies, is they don't let the creative teams cook. It's cool if Marvel have a narrative and they have like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 6, and they've got an end goal, but creative shouldn't get so involved to the point where Kevin Feige's basically becoming the scriptwriter. So, The Electric State, which was also co-written by Doomsday and Secret Wars scribe Stephen McFeely, had a reported budget of $300 million. That's a bit like the Captain America 4 budget. Captain America 4's just turned over $400 million. This budget is pretty much on bag with the real Captain America budget, believe it or not. So we have no problem believing that Feige is a little bit concerned. I don't believe he's concerned at all. Just look at the 4 movies they've done in the MCU. They've all made a massive profit. Intends on keeping a closer eye on how these massive event films are progressing. Well, they're Avenger movies. That's why I think it's a bit weird of this whole report, and it's a bit nonsensical. But at the end of the day, if it's actually true, which I don't actually think it is, but, you know, I wanted to cover this anyway, is Kevin Feige has allowed Marvel to drop so many below mid-quality movies recently. Whatever you think may happen about their other movies, Joe and Anthony Russos have done some incredible work at Marvel Studios. Yes, they have, and even the biggest Marvel haters would also agree to that. It goes on to say, cameras are scheduled to roll out on Doomsday next month in the UK. Sets are currently under construction. We haven't seen any yet because they're going to be using soundstage, but several actors have been spotted in London. Yeah, it turns out most of the actors in London are for a completely different project. So at the moment, Avengers Doomsday is scheduled to come out May 2026, and Secret Wars May 2027. So at San Diego Comic-Con next year, we're probably going to get the first real stuff there. But what is interesting about this is it's always how these rumors come out is I've seen this rumor come from someone else. Then, like I say, Daniel Rickman, it's an alias, it's a fake name, it's a bot account, there's no actual face behind it. He's just ironically reaffirming what another scooper that has an even worse track record said a few days before. I knew this would come out. I knew they would say about how, well, great directors can have flops, realistically. The Russos don't really have the best original ideas, which is why people don't like their work outside of Marvel, to be honest. I honestly don't believe this report is true. You're going to tell me that Kevin Feige wasn't going to be really involved with an Avengers movie, just like he's really involved with Spider-Man. I mean, why doesn't this report go on to say, yeah, Kevin Feige is going to be more hands-on with every movie going forward? But like I say, they did multiple reshoots for Captain America 4, did nothing to save the movie. The Marvels did test screenings, which screened badly, and the Marvels still flopped. Eternals, I can go on and go on of why we've had mid-movies. It's generally the narrative of the movie. It's generally the storyline. It's generally the script writing. It's not up to scratch. And Kevin Feige was overseeing everything. So Kevin Feige takes the blame, essentially, for why movies have been so bad. So just because Kevin Feige is going to be more hands-on, sure, I get it. He used to work for 20th Century Fox, and he started with, you know, the X-Men back over with Fox. I get it. He's a legend. Kevin Feige's done a lot of good. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Kevin Feige, but all I'm saying is just because he's keeping a watchful eye, it's neither a good thing or a bad thing. This is going to be one of Marvel's biggest budgets ever. Biggest cast, Avengers 5 and 6. Doomsday is going to be huge. Secret Wars will be bigger. Battleworld, they're going to be spending a lot of money. So if the head of a studio wasn't massively involved, now we're not on about James Gunn level being involved. When you write the script, you're the cameraman, you're also directing it, you're also casting people, you're also looking after the extras, you're also making the tea. We don't need it James Gunn level hands-on when you don't let anyone do anything and you've got to do everything yourself. That's just a massive disaster waiting to happen. But like I say, Kevin Feige was there when they did the Marvels, Captain America 4, the mid-Disney Plus shows that were not needed at all. Why put out a bunch of... I mean, if it wasn't for the mild reshoots, Daredevil Born Again will be getting massively slated. So if this does bad, if Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars does bad, Marvel is over. The Marvel train is over, realistically. So I don't think this is neither a good thing or a bad thing. But like I say, lads, I'm not like any other creator. I want you to think for yourself. Just because a scooper has a great track record with other people, personally, I keep a track record of who's right and who's wrong. And when it comes to Marvel stuff, there isn't really many scoopers that actually don't talk nonsense. So like always, guys, I'll catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch ya later.